Hi everyone, welcome back to Coding with Carl. This is now episode 22 of the Zero to Android show, the show where we punch Java square in the face and show it who's boss. And this stream is supposed to be a beacon of light for all developers who are intimidated by Java or Android development. And really, I'd like to show the world that you don't have to be a great programmer in order to get things done with this framework. Before we started doing this, I had absolutely no experience whatsoever with Java or Android development in any sense of the word. None whatsoever. And after a short 21 hours, we now have something that resembles a working application, albeit one with very few features. At the end of the last stream, we were working with timestamps a lot, and what we were trying to achieve is that if we navigate to a certain time slot here in our list, that we could add something to it and it would return us to the same day that or return us to the same spot on that list that we were browsing. Now I've just noticed another little something interesting here, that if I navigate to Wednesday, go to 8 o'clock, and then decide against what I was about to do, it doesn't take me back to that place. So we've got a few navigational issues that we need to work out the kinks of. I'm just going to add that one to my list, actually. Let's back to today. Now this one here, if we create a new goal, then it doesn't jump us back to the right day. What we've been working with is creating new things. So how do we, there we go. So if I do tomorrow at 8 AM, I'm going to wake up and brush my teeth. And then I put no goal. It takes us back to tomorrow. That's fine. If I do at 8:30, I'm going to make coffee. If I can spell coffee. And then I attribute that to this goal here, getting massive legs. I'm not sure how coffee would help me get massive legs. But, you know, you could use it as a pre-workout. That's conceivable, right? If I click this, takes us back to tomorrow. But if at 9 I decide to do gym, create, and my goal is not get massive legs, but just get massive in general, and press create, it does not take us back to that day. It takes us, in fact, to today, which is not where we want to be. We want to be back here at 9 AM doing gym and getting massive. So that needs to be rectified. In order to do that, we have to find the piece of code that adds a new task, a new goal. Yes, and that would be in our goal activity, I believe. It would be this piece of code here, store goal. And we can see here is the problem. When we do no goal, we put an extra into the intent that sends us back to the planner activity, but we are not doing that in this one here, which stores a new goal. So that line of code should fix that problem, hopefully. Let's run it and find out. So 9:30, we are going to go for a walk, and the goal is to increase stamina, and it takes us back. That makes me happy. That's one bug fixed. Okay, so now that we've got that little kink worked out, the next thing I would like to do is jump us back to the actual slot that we just created. I'm not just happy with it jumping us back to the right day, because it might jump us back to that day at 7 7 a.m. or I might have created that down here at 15:30 or 1600. So I'd like it to jump us forward in time as well as by day. How do we do that? We're populating this list, right? So what we're doing is it comes back to the planner activity. That's the first thing that happens. And the planner activity then looks for an intent. And if it's been started with an intent that contains a timestamp, then it jumps us to the right day. And then we need to inform the page view, not the rec view, although that does come after. We need to inform the page view that, right, so we've informed the page view, and then the page view needs to go on to inform the recycler view that it contains. So what are we doing here? Let me just refresh my memory. It has of course been 3 days since we wrote this code. We are setting the current item, and we're doing that by, yeah, so we're essentially sending that an integer to work from, which does not really help it. It doesn't help the pager. Let's have a look at the pager. So this is the pager. The pager has a fragment manager, and it creates a new fragment at the starting position. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't tell that fragment what we're doing here. We're creating a new instance with a start point. And how often does this happen? Let's have a look at the planner fragment. When we create the planner fragment, we have a render function, we have a create function. I would like to know how often this gets called. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a breakpoint here. Am I? Yeah, I'm going to set a breakpoint here. I'm going to do, is it shift command and no, shift func. That's it. It's command function and F8. That creates a breakpoint there. And I'm going to see how often these fragments get created. So I'm going to run this now. I need to run it in debug mode, so that was pointless. Start up the debugger. There we go. So even before we've done anything, we see that, right? I'm just going to continue from that one. It happens again. And I'm guessing this is going to happen, right, so that happens 3 times. Which probably means that it's, hang on, no, we've stopped at this breakpoint here, which I actually want to remove, I think. Yeah, resume. Okay, so it looks like it did it 3 times. So I'm guessing there's a page before this and a page after it. And if I move on to the next page, we get it again. How many times? Once? Just once. So that's probably creating the page after it as well, because this has already been created. Now let's do that again, and then I want to single step through it and see exactly where it's starting from. If I do today, does that then generate the yesterday page? Let's just step over this line of code and I'll look at get arguments. There should be one, so hopefully, yeah. Timestamp is 0 there. Okay, that's fine. Now the problem is if I go any further than this, then run to cursor. I wanted to run it from there, run it to there. Let's try that again. Go to tomorrow. Step forward a few lines. I just want to run to this cursor here. There's no executable code there. Okay. I really want to know what this timestamp is. So how do I do that? Is it step into? Or maybe it's show execution point. Let's step into, get int. Okay. Step out from here. Step out from there. Then I'm back to here. But I'm not advancing the program at all, so it's very difficult for me to see what the timestamp is now. I want to watch this. Can I watch that? Inspect. No. Okay, so maybe if I step over. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So, why can't I copy this? Copy value. Epoch converter. Reveal your secrets. It was Wednesday, April 25th that got generated. Which means okay, tomorrow is Tuesday. So yeah, it's generating the one after it. So the question is then, which of these gets generated when I assign something new? So if I go down to, let's resume this program, scroll down to 2200 and brush my teeth to increase stamina. Something new happens. I can step to there and I can see that the page that gets created is Tuesday, which is the one after. Is it the one after? Did I do that on the Tuesday? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. And something else. We got another one. Copy value. Monday and Tuesday. Are we going to get another one? We did. We got another one. And this one is copy value. This one is Wednesday. So assuming that I just created that event on the Tuesday, which I think I did, it generated 3 pages, one on different sites. And after that, it returns me to tomorrow. Okay, so on create may not be the best place to do this. So what's happening then? What's happening is the planner is generating all the pages and then jumping to one of those pages. But I don't think the pager adapter, unless there's an event within the pager adapter, that's maybe I can override, which would be something like on notify dataset change, get item position. Can I override? Let's do Command N, override methods. Fragment state pager adapter, start update, instantiate item, destroy item, set primary item, finish update, is view from object, save state, restore state. Pager adapter, get item position, notify data set change, register set data observer, Get page title, get page width. Don't feel like any of those are the ones that I'm looking for. So, finish update. What's finish update do? Yes. Okay, so that's not what I wanted to do. Is it that one? I know that if I control and if I do, is it command and click? No. No usage. So what is this then? Maybe it's in get item. So maybe we do something like it's almost as if we need to send something to. What can I do from here? Does each fragment have new instance? Can I send through to that? I don't think I can. Yeah. It's niggly little things like this, guys, that cause the most confusion in these sorts of APIs. Okay, so I set the current item pager. What else can I do with this object? I can set current item. I can set adapter. I've already done those things. So add view, begin fake drag. Get adapter is fake on incept touch event, on restore instance state, on save instance state, on touch event, remove view. Set off-screen page limit, set page margin, no. Add extra data to accessibility node info, that's a mouthful. Add focusables, add keyboard navigation. Add states view from children. Add view, add view, add view, add view, animate. Autofill. Call on click. Not really seeing anything in here as of yet. Dispatch, that's all event stuff. Drawable hotspot changed. Find view by ID. That's not really interesting. Get alpha, get animation. Is there like get current? No. Get current item maybe. Yeah, I feel like that might be. And get the child. Get child visible rate. Get clip bounds. Get context. Get foreground. Get handler, get height, get hit rects, horizontal, get ID, no. Get keep screen on, get key dispatcher state, label for layer type. Layout animation, nope, nope, nope. Layout mode. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. There are so many methods available to me here that I'm failing to see the wood for the trees. Okay. Let's see what we have in here for item. Get current item. What does that return? Does it return a view? Or does it return an index? What's it called? Pager. Get current. No. Is it a view pager? Get current item. I don't want the page number. I don't want the page number. This is what I want. What I did was to call set tag with a name to all views, list views, and just find with my tag. Wow, that is an absurd solution, as pointed out by this here. Accessing your list of items for the adapter. Okay, so can what the hell? Where's my adapter? Where is my adapter? Adapter dot get item. Pager dot get current item. That should give me the page that I want, hopefully. So then I should be able to call something on that. Can I do it like this? Dot test. Alright, so if I go to what does get item actually return? That'd be a good thing to know, wouldn't it? So let's have a look at the documentation for what is Pager. Pager is a planner pager adapter, which is a fragment state pager adapter. And here lies the documentation. Get item. Return the fragment associated with the specified position. Okay, so that gives me my planner fragment. So if I can add something in here, private void test, and from here I can do log.i call, made it this far. Then I should be able to call that now from here, right? Fingers crossed. And that's going to return a planner fragment. Or not. Cannot resolve method get item. Why? Because it returns this? Oh, of course. Fragment equals adapter.get item. I guess I can't do this. What's the problem here? Okay, so that just returns a fragment, not a planner fragment. Can I cast it to a planner fragment? return fragment.test. Maybe, just maybe, this will yield something. Test has private access. Of course it does, because I usually don't have to think about such things. Public. Okay, let's try it, dudes. Where is my log? Log. And I want to show only me. Okay, so this happens when we add something, doesn't it? So let's scroll over to Wednesday, and at 8:30 we will brush our teeth with no goal. Made it this far, great. Hopefully what I can do now is pass in a timestamp and use that to scroll the recycler view to the timestamp that we want it to be at. Which we're doing something like that in here, aren't we? When we... Here. This is what we're doing. Scroll to position. So this little beauty here, we could probably use this again. That tries to figure out based on the current hour. So we can get position from timestamp would be a good little thing to have. So let's create that. We'll do private int position from TS, and then in this test function here we can rename that to scroll to TS, and that will take an integer TS. Okay, so that is a public void at the minute. Yeah, we want that to stay a void actually. And this will return a, so that will take an integer timestamp as well. And then we need to figure out return one. We'll put a marker there and we'll go back to this timestamp stuff. Where were you? No, is it down at the bottom? Where are you? There we are. We'll set a marker here, MB. I'm going to copy all of this stuff out back to A, and let's have a look at what we've got here. So, time now. Of course, that's being passed in from the timestamp, so we don't need that. So, offset seconds. We don't need that either, I don't think. Do we? We are passing in a Unix timestamp which has no knowledge of the current hour. Time zone TZ equals time zone dot get default. Time now is going to be TS right there. So that's going to give us our local timestamp. I'm not sure if we need to do this offset thing. Comment it out for now. So second elapsed. That's UTC, right? So that's TS. So that gets us to the top of the day. And we add that seconds elapsed. Seconds elapsed in that day UTC. Yes, we do need this. Okay, so plus offset seconds, right? So that gives us the number of seconds that have elapsed since the midnight, the UTC midnight of that timestamp, right? And then the target position, we don't need, we can just return the seconds elapsed divided by 3600, which is the number of seconds in the hour, times by 2, because we have 2 slots in every hour. And what we should be able to do is, right, so first of all we need the recycler view, this dot recycler view dot set position. Is it position? Scroll to position, and then we get position from TS. This dot position, what is the column count? We are at column 60. Position from TS, TS. Okay. It's kind of wishful thinking to think this is going to work first time, but we'll need to test it in two places. We need to test it in down here, B. Test this, and we need to test it in our planner activity. Scroll to TS, and where are we? Target timestamp. Test this. To do. Where were we? Planner fragment. So this was where we. So time now, we need that, and we need to do, instead of the, wow, what happened? There we go. Recycle view, scroll to position. This dot scroll to TS. Time now. Oh, we're lagging. Things are getting laggy. And of course we need another. Okay, so what's the problem here? Cannot be applied to void. That's weird. Oh, of course. We don't even need to do that. We can just do this. And where did that happen? That happened if it was today. So we can test this just by running the application. And if it jumps to the 20 o'clock, 24 hours, if it jumps there, then we know that that one works. So let's have a look. And it did. Great, so we know that bit of code works. So maybe, just maybe, this will also work. Tell the pager to jump to the right day. Tell the fragment to scroll to the right hour. Alright, so that's the next thing we'll test. And I don't think we need to change anything because all we did was some comments. So let's jump to 13:30. Make coffee. No goal. The app has stopped. Why did we stop? What was the error? Only selected application. Don't see anything. No filters. Couldn't load memtrack module. Unknown param. Got a feeling this is going to be one of those really ugly 200328. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Unable to start activity. Planner activity. Null pointer exception. Attempt to invoke virtual method. Recycle view. Scroll to position in on a null object reference. So it wasn't this. It was in here. We called, so this.recycleView was null. Which means that this wasn't all created at the time that we ran it. So when does render get run? That's one there, on view created, this.recycle view. So we're trying to do it before the view was created. Not sure what I'm supposed to do about that. So when does the view get created? Maybe then, the better thing to do is to these fragments are getting paged in and out, then presumably they're getting destroyed, which is what this ondetached thing is for. So maybe what we could do instead is this dot scroll to position or scroll to TS. This dot start TS, or this dot initial TS. Try something like that. GG. This is quite ugly, guys. I'm not a big fan of this, to be honest. So we have a starting slot 14. We have a timestamp which is for the day, and then I guess we have a private int initial TS, which is, and I will rename these day start, and this is going to be like scroll to TS. And then what we do instead of doing this scroll to TS, we just tell it that we want its initial timestamp to be something else, and if it's there when it renders, then it automatically scrolls there. So that can be private, and if we make that starting TS public, there, public int initial TS equals 0, then when we do this magic down here, then we can say, we can have another case where are we? There we are. If is today, that will be else. Okay, and the first thing we'll have is if initial TS is not 0, then now the thing I'm worried about is if these fragments get reused, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, so I'll put it to do in here. If this fragment gets reused, then reset initial TS to 0. If it's not equal to 0, then we will do this initial TS, and then we can not do this scroll to TS, but instead do fragment dot initial TS equals target timestamp, right? Let's see. Hi Dr. Cactus, welcome back to the stream. Is the code available online? It's not, no. I'm not sure whether it should be, because even though I'm like televising the production of this app, I do intend for it to be a a commercial app at some point in the future. Right, so we jumped to the right slot there. That's good. What we need to do is find out whether we get sent back to the right slot. So where were we? We created something, tried to create something at 13:30. Evidently, that didn't work. There we go. Make coffee, no goal. Okay, so it jumped us back to the right day, but it didn't jump us back to the timestamp. So it seems like this happened too late. Which is bizarre, because it's like, if that happened too late, then I should have been able to scroll to the position, and it shouldn't have been null. Unless... let's run it through. Let's set some breakpoints inside... do I have any other breakpoints? No, let's set some breakpoints inside this fragment, and we'll figure out just what the heck is going on. So I want to set one here. I'll just put a space in there. So I want to set one here. Function command and F8. Okay, where? Is it because the app's running that I can't set a breakpoint there? There we go. Set one there, and I will set one... So that's working, right? Or is it? Is that working? Should that even be there now? I don't think it should. Let's just try that for a second. Okay, so is it there at render time? Let's do 10:30. Make coffee. No goal. Okay, that jumps us back to the same day at 7 AM. So I am going to run it in debug mode now and just figure out what's going on there. Restart app. Okay, I want to remove this breakpoint actually. Do I? We know that it's been created and the timestamp is 0. Initial TS is 0 as well, so let's resume. Where does that take us? That takes us to another on create and another on create. Alright, so here we are. I've got no idea, I've got no way of knowing whether I'm rendering the right view here or not. So I think the smart thing to do is skip over that, and then we'll jump to Wednesday. Of course, we've created another one there, so I need to jump over them two again. What's going on now? Right, so Thursday at 9. Resume, resume. I want to brush my teeth. No goal. And then we're jumping back to there. That gets called 3 times. The render methods begin to fire. What do we have in initial TS? That's 0. That's not the one we're looking for, I don't think. The second one, that should be the one. Got 2. So in all 3 cases, initial TS is set to 0 when render is run. Where does render get run again? I guess that happens on view created. So if the view is created, at what point is the view being created? So we set the adapter, it probably happens there, right? Set current item. Let's do a race. I want to remove the breakpoints I've added to here. So on create, let's remove this one, and we'll also remove this one. Wrong one. F8. There we go. And we'll go back to our planner activity and set a breakpoint here, and then we'll see if we'll inspect this fragment when it comes back to see what's happened with it. If it's already on the page, we'll know it's been rendered, but it shouldn't be null at that point either, so it's a bit of a strange one. Let's jump to 11. Make coffee, no goal. So here we go. We do planner fragment, and at this point, the fragment is what is here. Has an initial TS. Is created is false at that point. So we set the initial TS to target timestamp. Okay, step into. So then everything falls out of scope at that point. But we know that this fragment hasn't been created at this point. So where does it get created then? Okay, so what are we doing when we do scroll to TS? We can do that, so it's not that. The problem we've got is initial TS is always 0. Oh. Am I doing this the wrong way? I'm thinking now, is there some kind of event that I can tap into that says when everything here has been rendered, do X? Set on apply window in sets listener. Captured pointer listener, click listener, context click listener. Context, create context menu listener, drag listener, focus change listener. Generic motion, hierarchy change, hover listener, key listener. Nothing here is useful to me. What about the fragment? Dots. Set on. Nothing. On create. How very disappointing. How very, very disappointing. Let me think. Without talking back to check the pager, I've checked the fragment. What I haven't checked is the adapter. Nothing. Yeah, pretty stumped. I am pretty stumped. If anyone in the chat has any ideas of how I should resolve this problem, please let me know. Can I do something like set? I feel like scroll to TS should have worked. Let's make that. Don't like this initial TS stuff. Let's get rid of it. And then let's go back up to here and make this public again. If this happens before it's created, like when is this dot recycle view actually done? This dot, okay, this dot rec there on view created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a breakpoint here, and I'm going to figure out what the state of this entire object is at the time I want to do what it is I'm trying to do. Fragment. I'll scroll to TS. What's the problem? Okay, so here we are. We're in scroll to TS. We can inspect this now. You can see that we've passed in this. This recycler view is actually a recycler view. Is that because, yeah, of course, this is happening. This is being called from somewhere entirely different right now. So, actually, just replay that. Yeah, so 22:30. Brush my teeth. No goal. This, now we know that we're on the right track, right? So I'm going to skip over this and jump into here, and I can see that this .recycler view is null, which means that this is happening before the view is created. If we look at this, echo stop. Yeah, so this is happening before it's been created, and there should be something in here that says it's created, and it is set to false. So how do we get around this? What does this do, this on create view? It does all this. On view created, this dot render. So what I'd like to do is leave something in here. So I think I do need this initial TS, as much as I don't want to have it. I'll make it private just to see if that makes any difference. Int initial TS equals 0. Hopefully it won't get reset. And then I'll create a public void set initial TS int TS, and then we'll call that, instead of scroll to TS, so we'll do this dot initial TS equals TS, and get rid of this breakpoint because we no longer need it, and move it to here. And then in the render function, which is here, I want to throw another breakpoint in, just so that I can see that by the time we get to render, whether or not that initial TS is still there. Where are we? Here, and set initial TS, target timestamp. Okay, fingers crossed we missed something the first time we tried this approach, and it will work. Otherwise we are pretty buggered. So it creates 3, we expected that. 2300, brush my teeth, no goal. This is where we start to see stuff happening. So we're going to jump over this into here, where this will set the initial TS of this object. Now, can I keep this object new watch? No, I want to keep this object in my watch pane. Okay. So the next thing we should jump into is this render function, fingers crossed. Okay, so it jumped in, right? And checking this, where is my initial TS? Initial TS is now back to 0, so how the hell did that happen? In all 3 cases. In all 3 cases, this was discarded by the time we got to render. How? How did that happen? I am baffled, absolutely baffled. Surely all of this should be happening before What else have we got here? Nothing there. Maybe we have to use some kind of fragment interaction. Maybe that's what that stuff's all about. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to end the stream on this one, guys. As disappointing as that is. If anyone's got any questions or comments and they want to put them in the chat log for me, I will do my best to answer them. Although I don't really feel qualified at this minute in time. Okay, I'm going to do some reading off stream and see if I can figure this out by tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. Let's just have a look at our to-do list and update it if we need to be. Jump to slot. So this is painful. Object state seems to get reset after our activity has created. This is weird. Maybe there's something we're missing. And yeah, I'll check the changes into the version control system. End of episode 22. We have done very little. All we've tried to do here is tried to set the initial scroll position of the rec view inside the fragment. Failing hard, but we will not give up. Commit. Okay, no questions in the chat, so I'm going to call it a night here, guys. I want to say thank you to everybody who's sat through the pain of this with me this evening, and I hope that I'll see you again tomorrow evening. We do have a YouTube channel. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, all of them are in the 0 to Android playlist here on the Coding with Carl channel on YouTube. Please feel free to subscribe, leave a like if you're feeling generous. And this episode should be uploaded sometime within the next 12 hours or so. Alright guys, thank you very much. Good night. Take care. Bye.